running, all your business are running like what I say, petrol economy. Everything in Nigeria evolves around fuel, petrol. So when there's an increment, it affects every other area of our lives. So what do government need to do to stabilize this thing is to create enabling environment for local production, either in crude oil, either in agriculture. They can't do it by themselves. And the other way you can do it is to support them with funding. If I'm going to borrow at a rate of about 30%, how will I be able to break even and make profit? So those are where government comes in with policies that will drive internal growth. Now, when you mean about local growth or internal growth, should not be depending on what IMF or World Bank says. Should be depending on what is the reality of your economic condition on ground. It's not textbook economy that will help you. Textbook economy tells you when there's so much liquidity in the system, starve the system of liquidity, you bring down inflation. But Nigerian economy will tell you if you starve the system of liquidity, you are killing a vibrant sector, the informal sector, which is likely driven by liquidity. So you need to find a balance.
Yeah.
That is that balance that our government are not ready to find. Because before you say you think out of the box, it's no more out of the box, you have to think in the cloud. We have not even think out of the box talking of going to the cloud. So for us to have a solution to this problem, we need to start thinking in the cloud. And that is where our challenge as a nation is based.
And that also is a case of whether they know or we know if we're in a box or not. Because if you do not even know where you are, how do you know how to even think out of where you are?
Cornelia, they know where we are. You can't deceive yourself. Look, NNPC ran out of lies. That's why we are here. We are not having the truth. You talked about the Petrol refinery. It was supposed to come up. We made so much noise about it in December. Ran jingles in every station. I don't know whether the station was involved in the jingle. That very soon NNPC Petrol refinery will come on stream in December. We went to January. From January we went to March. From March they said it's July. From July they said it's August. From August
September.
The group managing director of NNPC, Mark Harry, came out and said, "This time I'm not lying. I've been lying before."
You know, you referred to something about buying local, producing and buying local and all that. That could help the dollars and so on. It now reminds one of those in government. Do they themselves obey this logic of buying local to improve the naira? For instance, when they bought vehicles the other time, it wasn't Nigerian made. Most of their purchases never Nigerian made. So how can the government make people go that route when they themselves are not really showing the example? How can we make them show the example, the right way to go? Oh, goodness. The line has dropped. Maybe we'll try the other side. Let's see. If the network is back on, maybe we could try the WhatsApp. So we do apologize for these technical things. You know, all over the world, people are doing virtual, going virtual, working from home, and so on. But it's like this place, I don't know what's going on with the telcos and all that. By the second, it feels like it's getting harder to sustain some of these things, and it makes it rather boring sometimes. Sorry, the line went off a bit there. Welcome back, Mukhtar.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So I was saying, how do we get to make the government obey that law of buy local to improve the naira? Because they themselves seem to be the ones faulting or defaulting when it comes to this.
Government. I have to ask you, Madam Cordelia, if I'm there in the station, I will look at you and I'll tell you most of the things that going on are foreign.
No, okay. You can, everything I'm wearing is foreign, Nabi.
It's not just the government alone. It also has to do with us, our mindset as individuals. Also has a role to play. That for me, it's a big challenge. And to us also, whether we want to deal with local production, also local I want to wear local attire, they want to do foreign clothes. But the challenge we have is again, even what we are producing, even when you decide to produce, most of the machinery that we use for production are not made in Nigeria. So they have to be imported. Because we have not been able to take advantage of our skills, sector, technical skills, has one of the largest deposits of skill in the world, but we've not been able to catch on it and make it entirely to our economy. So that is also a very, very, very big challenge. So how do we address that again? Is if you want those costs of those things to come down, then government also needs to take a bite of their revenue, in the sense that, okay, you can say every machinery that's used for local production will be free from tariff. That, you'll be bringing down the cost of production. We've done it before. During the time of Bungos and Kunjewala, any machinery that comes in that is used for local production was also brought down in terms of the fee that was paid. And the tariff was paid, as the tariff was less than 1% of the cost of that machinery, and that will help also. So that's the area that government have to help the locals with the area of machinery importation, making zero tariff, then also in the area of funding, like I've talked about that, making sure that the interest rate is low if you are into local production.
You see, this thing you just talked about, starting from home myself, the things, virtually everything I have on now, you said, may just be foreign. 100% maybe. Let me take you a little further now. In this studio, can all of you hear me? Guys, which one of you is wearing anything that is made in Nigeria right now? Abiodun, put down your hand. Mona, put down your hand. You know why they put up their hands? Abiodun is wearing native, right? The native is brocade. The brocade is not made in Nigeria. Mona, you are wearing, is that Ankara? Okay, your slippers, both of you, okay, both of them have slippers on. Are they all made in Nigeria? The soles, down to the sole and everything. Okay, they tried there, but for you were thinking of your cloth. That is the problem. People will dress up and say, oh, I'm wearing an Ankara, oh, made in Nigeria. The Ankara is not even made in Nigeria. It's not even Nigerian. Our textile mills just disappeared like that. Do you think this administration or Nigeria as a whole is even keen on getting our textile factories back online? Because that was a beautiful way of employing people. We were making the fabric ourselves, and we could fully dress from head to toe wearing Nigerian. But now, we only deceive ourselves because the tailor who put the fabric together is a Nigerian. We now think that it truly is made in Nigeria. How can that help reviving the textile industry in Nigeria?
I think it's a mindset. Like you said, those sectors are gone. But you have to say, how did they go? It was cost of production. It's the same exchange rate, like what we are seeing now. A lot of big companies are leaving Nigeria because of the exchange rate. It's cost of doing business is cheaper to import than even to produce here. So those are part of the challenge. So sometimes you don't even blame those people that would rather import than produce here. Because when you produce it, you are producing at a higher cost, and you take it to the same market that people are encouraged to import at a lower cost. So definitely that is a major challenge. The textile industry, I think that's what affected the car manufacturing agency. Before now we have Pujo. Nobody knows about Toyota. Nobody used Toyota. And the official car of the Nigerian president at the time was Pujo. But today the official car of a local government chairman, I'm going as low as a local government chairman, is just the Lexus 570 in some states. So you now see where the challenge is. We are not even making use of most businesses that are in Nigeria. So if I am a Fusion company, I have because I just have the franchise to manufacture these cars, assemble this car in Nigeria, I'd rather just go and just take my money and be importing Lexus cars into the country and make it without adding any value. Just pay for the duty and add my money to use my overhead cost, and I make money. So it all boils down to the ease of doing business and the cost of doing business in Nigeria.
Hmm. Ease of doing business and cost of doing business in Nigeria is a major thing, and that's part of what we've been trying to work on as a people, for people to be able to do business here swiftly, smoothly, and at least make profits when they do carry out their business in Nigeria. Now, one wonders what will be the solution, what will be the way forward, especially in the area of incessant increments in our fuel pricing. Should it be a case of increasing subsidies, putting the subsidy back, or should we be doing what do they call it, the fuel swap, or Dangote refinery supply as a local solution? Many options to look at now. What do you think would be the best option for us?
The best option for us to remain encourage local production, encourage Dangote.
Mm.
We have invested about $19 billion. As a country, I can't remember when last we have any investment up to the tune of 19 billion, whether it's direct or foreign investment, especially since the APC government is in power. So definitely you need to encourage somebody like that to make sure that his businesses don't go under. Then secondly, also you also have to look at the NNPC also must also come up with to also be among the forces that produce, because NNPC is no more NNPC, Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation. It's now Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation PLC. So it should be providing profit. It should be doing what the LNG are doing. So NNPC also has to be a major player. Why is NNPC not producing? So those are the options that we need. You empower Dangote, but if you empower Dangote its own and you do not empower others like NNPC that have all the infrastructure, they are the ones that holds the key to driving down petroleum price. If they are able to do what they have to do, even if it's in the long term, they need to do it. And then you have to encourage other businessmen that want to establish a refinery in the country, whether a modular refinery or whether a full-blown petrochemical refinery. You need to encourage them, because why should NNPC be investing? They invested about they were supposed to invest about 20%, even if they end up doing 7 point something% in Dangote refinery. Why they're not investing? They are also in other refineries that are growing in the country. So you must create a level playing field for everybody to access, so that from then you begin to see the benefits in terms of price reduction, job creation, and again, most especially stability in supply.
Now, in this area of price reduction, do we ever think that the price is going to go back to where it was? If not completely to that level, at least something closer to it, because everybody's been asking for reversal of the hikes that have been done. They were asking for the reversal of the first hike, then the second one came unannounced, and a lot of people are feeling that is the usual thing. They're using strategy to make it now seem like a form of reduction are taking place if they now finally bring it down after this unannounced increment that took place just last week or so. Do you ever see the prices coming down to a point where people will say, aha, finally here we are, positively?
Well, in Nigeria they have what we call government magic, because the same government that would say we are not involved in price hike was the same president that said if far away China would support a price hike, because that's the only way we can drive prosperity of our economy. So I won't be surprised tomorrow for the federal government to say we have come up with a reduction in price. Ordinarily, it's not supposed to be the federal government who to reduce price. You allow market forces to depend and then bring down prices. You as a regulator, you need to regulate very well. We're supposed to have the downstream regulatory commission should be the one that is looking at most of this inflation. How much did you import? How much did you sell in the farm, in the tank farm? And so this is the boundary, this is the range you sell. You cannot sell above this, and the close monitoring. Those are what we're supposed to maintain. If you are running a fully deregulated economy, like what they are trying to tell us we are running, as a standard price hike is inevitable. Like I've said before, we look at the exchange rate, you look at the sell in the international market, then you look at the demand and supply. So I see people are calling for reversal. For me, I think we have done too much of going back and forth. Of recent, the NNPC said we are looking for private partners to take Korea and Kaduna refinery. 19 years ago, President Roberto just sold down the refinery to Dangote and Femi Etodola. The same Dangote that have built the private refinery now. If they have allowed them, maybe by now would have been self-sufficient in the area of refined petroleum products. So we need to do the right thing at the right time. So removing of the government, it creates more room for corruption, and so amount of subsidy is being paid and that and that. I think we should be able to say, okay, we have come to this way. We need transparency. We need people. We need new investors, and we need the government to support those new investors rather than now saying go back to the status quo. And at the end of the day, subsidy does not subsidize the poor, rather subsidy help in enriching the rich.
In this particular instance, what can the government do, in your own opinion, to help the investors hit the ground running positively?
I didn't get you.
No, I was asking that in this situation now, you mentioned the fact that the government should give investors all the necessary support they need. And I was wondering, say in this area of fuel, PMS production and so on, what can the government do in the area of encouraging those who want to come invest here, and even those who already have refineries, not just Dangote now? What can be done to help to ensure that the situation becomes stabilized and we do not have this yo-yo effect we keep having in the area of PMS and diesel?
I think what the government needs to do is educate in everything and come up with policies that will drive companies to prosper. And one of the points, if you start to grow the economy, you start to create jobs. Okay, if you are this refinery, want you to reduce your price, we'll give you price you pay for the next 3, 4, 5 years. Those are things that can be done to bring down the price and also encourage a lot of investors to come into your market. But the situation whereby you are trying to fix the price will not attract investors to that sector, especially when investors are going to pay more to bring the project into your country. So I think that is one area that government needs to come in there, help investors in the area of policies, the area of tax holiday. Then also you begin to look at multiple taxation, which has been a major problem also in Nigeria. You try to see how you can reduce that. When you begin to do all those that, we have the population, we have the market, and the big players will want to come into your economy. As it stands now, we don't have so much of the big players coming into our economy, and will continue to go through this route. It will continue like this.